Have you ever sat down to enjoy a piece of your favorite fruit and suddenly thought, is what I'm eating really as healthy as I've always believed? It may sound strange, but the truth is that some fruits, once considered your best friend on your daily plate, can become silent enemies once we hit our 60s and beyond. At this stage of life, our bodies undergo significant changes. Our hearts become more sensitive, blood sugar is harder to control, kidney function slows down, and our digestive system isn't as resilient as before. Seemingly harmless fruits can worsen these issues if not carefully chosen. I once knew an uncle who loved grapes. He would snack on a whole bunch every evening while watching TV. One day, he had to be hospitalized due to a sudden spike in potassium levels, which affected his heart and blood pressure. Or take my neighbor, who had diabetes but still enjoyed eating mangoes every day because it's just fruit, how could it be bad? That is, until her blood sugar levels shot up and her doctor had to change her medication urgently. In today's video, I'll talk about 7 common fruits that seniors should avoid or limit. Not to scare you, but to help you make smarter choices. I'll also introduce some great fruit alternatives that are both tasty and senior-friendly. You'll learn why certain fruits can become harmful as we age and how to enjoy fruit safely without giving up your favorites entirely. Stay tuned, because I'll be sharing real-life stories of seniors who improved their health just by adjusting their fruit intake. And if you find this content helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button and share this video with loved ones. You might just help someone live a healthier life. Let me know you're with me. Leave a comment with the number 1 if you like this topic, or a 0 if you'd like to see something different in the next video. Now, let's dive into the surprising truths hidden behind these seemingly harmless fruits. First, carambola. If you've ever enjoyed a chilled slice of star fruit on a hot summer day, you'd probably agree that this fruit is not only visually appealing, but also has a sweet, mildly tangy flavor that's incredibly refreshing. For older adults, star fruit is often seen as a natural gift, easy to eat, low in calories, and great for cooling the body. But behind its appealing appearance and delightful taste lies a little-known truth. Star fruit can be a potential health hazard, especially for those with kidney problems, even if they haven't been formally diagnosed. I'll never forget the story of Mr. John, a 72-year-old man from Florida. He prided himself on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, waking up early every morning to walk, and having a light breakfast with a fruit smoothie that included some star fruit for a refreshing touch. But just a few days later, he started feeling fuzzy. His mind wasn't as sharp as before, and he began to forget things and feel sluggish. At first he thought it was just a sign of aging. Who doesn't get a little forgetful after 70, right? But one morning, he collapsed in the kitchen, unable to stand up. After being hospitalized and thoroughly examined, the doctors discovered the cause. His kidney function had declined, something he had never known before. And the very star fruit he had been eating, which seemed so harmless, contained caramboxin, a neurotoxin that his weakened kidneys couldn't process. As a result, the toxin built up in his blood and caused serious neurological disturbances. It sounds frightening, but in reality, many older adults find themselves in similar situations, unaware that they have kidney issues while still enjoying fruits that could worsen their condition. According to the National Kidney Foundation, just 1 star fruit can be enough to trigger dangerous symptoms like confusion, seizures, or even coma in individuals with weak kidneys. What's troubling is that signs such as fatigue, disorientation, or nausea are easily mistaken for natural aging, causing both the patients and their loved ones to overlook the warning signs. Think of the kidneys as the body's silent gatekeepers, tirelessly working to remove toxins every day. But as we age, when they weaken, eating something like star fruit can feel like accidentally opening the door to let toxins in. For older adults, it's crucial to be mindful of what we eat. We don't have to live in fear, but we do need to understand our bodies and choose foods that match our health condition. Sometimes, avoiding what seems like an innocent food item can be the key to living healthier, sharper, and safer every day. Second, grapes. Many of us, especially as we get older, believe that making healthier food choices is a step in the right direction, and grapes often top that list. Small, sweet, convenient, and easy to carry in a purse. Grapes are almost the perfect snack. But what many people don't realize is that these seemingly harmless grapes can become a blood sugar trap that poses a significant risk to the health of older adults, especially those living with diabetes or pre-diabetes, a condition that affects nearly 50% of Americans over the age of 65. I still remember the story of Mrs. Patricia, a 68-year-old woman from Chicago who shared that she switched from eating cookies to grapes every afternoon, believing it was a healthier choice. But just a few weeks later, she started feeling that something wasn't quite right. She was often tired, irritable, and her vision was getting worse. When she went to the doctor, the physician pointed out that although her intentions were good, eating too many grapes caused her blood sugar to fluctuate continuously, because a small cup of grapes contains the same amount of sugar as 4 pieces of refined sugar. What's important to note is that grapes have a relatively high glycemic index, which means that when you eat them, they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. This puts a lot of stress on the body, leading to problems like dizziness, rapid heartbeats, and even insomnia or prolonged blurred vision. And the risks don't stop at sugar. There's another danger from grapes that most people overlook: choking. As we age, our swallowing reflexes and the muscles controlling the throat weaken, making slippery foods like grapes easier to get stuck. The National Safety Council reported that choking incidents from grapes among the elderly have significantly increased, up by 30% in recent years. With their smooth skin and round shape, grapes can slip down the throat unexpectedly and pose a danger if not chewed properly or cut into smaller pieces. So, if you or your loved ones still enjoy this fruit, don't worry, just eat it the right way. Always cut grapes into smaller pieces before eating and limit consumption to about 5 to 6 grapes per serving. A small tip that experts recommend is pairing grapes with a source of protein, like a slice of cheese or a few almonds. This helps slow down the absorption of sugar and stabilize blood sugar levels. Additionally, you can replace grapes with fruits that have a lower glycemic index, such as blueberries, raspberries, or melon slices, which not only help curb your sweet cravings but are also more friendly to your blood sugar levels and easier to digest. Most importantly, those of us at an age when we need to listen to our bodies more closely, should understand that not every natural food is harmless. Sometimes a small change in our eating habits is enough to protect our long-term health. Because every bite we take is not just about nutrients, but a choice to live healthier and more mentally sharp every day. Third, oranges. The vibrant yellow fruit, often seen as a symbol of health, can also be a double-edged sword that many older adults don't realize. With its abundant vitamin C, delicious taste, and refreshing sensation from sipping a glass of orange juice in the morning, it's no surprise that many people consider it an essential part of a healthy diet. However, what few people tell you is that as we age, our bodies no longer respond to food the way they used to. The story of Mr. Robert, a 70-year-old man from Arizona, is a thought-provoking example. For nearly 10 years, he began each morning with a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice, a habit that seemed harmless, even good for heart health and immunity. But as he got older, he started experiencing sleepless nights due to a burning sensation in his chest and throat. Initially, he thought it was because of eating dinner late, but after several attempts to cut back on dinner and still not feeling better, he decided to see a doctor. The doctor diagnosed him with acid reflux, And the culprit was not something strange, but his daily glass of orange juice. When he got home, he tried making a change. He stopped drinking orange juice for a week. What happened next was almost miraculous. His sleep improved, the heartburn disappeared, and he felt lighter and more comfortable. The reason is simple. As we age, the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that helps keep stomach acid in place, begins to weaken. When you consume highly acidic foods like oranges, it can increase the pressure in the stomach, causing acid to reflux up into the esophagus, resulting in that unpleasant burning sensation. But oranges don't just stop at heartburn. The acid in oranges can also affect dental health and even interfere with many prescription medications that older adults commonly take. More than 50 types of medications, from blood pressure, cholesterol, to antidepressants, can interact negatively with orange juice if consumed within 2 hours of taking the medication. That means just 1 glass of orange juice could reduce the effectiveness of the pills you rely on daily. And it doesn't stop there. Enamel, the natural protective layer of teeth, thins over time and becomes more vulnerable to the acid in oranges. The result? Teeth become sensitive, causing discomfort when consuming hot or cold foods. And over time, this can lead to enamel erosion and cavities. So, how can we continue to support our health without giving up on vitamin C? The good news is that there are many digestive-friendly options that are still rich in nutrients. Red bell peppers, though not as popular as oranges, contain far more vitamins and do not have the same acidic effect. Or kiwi. It's sweet, easy to digest, and great for immunity and digestion thanks to its natural fiber. Many people who have switched to these fruits report noticeable changes: better sleep, fewer stomach issues, and healthier teeth. Ultimately, the most important thing is to listen to your body. Not everything natural is suitable for everyone at every age. As we age, our bodies require more delicate and thoughtful care. And sometimes that starts with questioning the familiar daily habits. Choose foods not just because they're good in theory, but because they're right for you. Because your health deserves to be nurtured with knowledge and love. Fourth, avocados. This creamy, rich fruit, often dubbed a superfood, has long been seen as a symbol of healthy eating. But for older adults, things aren't always that simple. The story of Mrs. Helen, a 72-year-old woman living in Oregon, is a true example. After reading an article praising avocados for their heart-healthy benefits and cholesterol support, she started adding half an avocado to her breakfast every day, usually spreading it on toast or mixing it into her lunch salad. She felt like she was doing the right thing. Who wouldn't want to protect their heart and maintain healthy skin? But after a few months, she noticed her dresses were getting tighter, her knee joints were aching more, and each step up the stairs became more difficult. When she went to see the doctor, she realized she had inadvertently consumed more than 300 extra calories a day just from avocado. The reason she had gained nearly 15 pounds without even realizing it. The truth is, as we age, our bodies burn energy more slowly. A nutritious food like avocado, if eaten without control, can quickly become a burden on our metabolism. Just one medium-sized avocado contains nearly as many calories as a full meal, something many older adults overlook, thinking that healthy food can't be harmful. But weight gain in later years is not just about appearance. It comes with risks for heart health, blood pressure, and especially increased strain on joints that have already weakened over time. That's when tasks as simple as tying shoes or taking a walk around the yard become a daunting challenge. It doesn't stop there. Avocados can also interfere with the effectiveness of medications. Older adults, especially those on blood thinners like warfarin, need to be cautious about the high vitamin K content in avocados, a substance that can reduce the effectiveness of the medication, increasing the risk of blood clots and causing serious unwanted consequences. Even more concerning, some people can be allergic to avocados, especially those with a history of latex allergies. Many people don't know that the protein structure in avocados can trigger an allergic reaction similar to rubber gloves, from mild itching to shortness of breath or even anaphylaxis in sensitive individuals. Mr. Daniel, 68, from California, had eaten avocados his whole life with no problems. But one family gathering, he suddenly experienced throat itching, nasal congestion, and dizziness after eating guacamole. After testing, the doctor confirmed he had developed a new avocado allergy, a reaction that is not uncommon as the body changes with age. So, while avocados have their benefits, it's important to know when to stop. A quarter of an avocado a day is enough for most older adults. And if you combine it wisely with leafy greens, tofu, or salmon, you can still reap the nutritional benefits without worrying about excess calories or medication interactions. Instead of eating avocado every day, you could alternate with olive oil in cooking. It's lighter, easier to control in portion size, and has fewer risks of interactions. Nuts, like almonds or walnuts, are also excellent alternatives, providing heart benefits and being easy to store. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you notice unusual signs like bloating, indigestion, or fatigue after eating avocado, don't ignore it. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive and change more easily. What may have been a golden food at age 30 might not be suitable at 70. Taking care of your health in later years isn't just about choosing the right foods, it's about choosing the foods that are right for you. And sometimes, moderation is the greatest gift you can give yourself. Fifth, watermelon. The name itself evokes the vibrant summer, cool afternoons on the porch, and the sweet, refreshing taste. For older adults, just a slice of cold watermelon is enough to bring back memories of youth, when simply sitting in the garden, enjoying the fruit and laughing with grandchildren was enough to feel at peace with life. But few know that behind the juicy and refreshing exterior, watermelon can be a not entirely harmless friend to the health of those in their later years. Imagine the story of Mr. Harold, 76, living in Texas, who has always prided himself on maintaining a healthy lifestyle after retirement. Every summer afternoon, he would cut half a watermelon, place it in a large bowl, and enjoy it as a dessert. He thought this was a natural way to stay hydrated during the hot days. But after a few weeks, he began feeling short of breath. His ankles started swelling, and occasionally his heart would skip a beat. At first, he thought it was just the hot weather, until his doctor diagnosed him with severe water retention caused by excessive potassium and water intake, a dangerous reaction for someone with a history of heart disease like him. The problem wasn't that watermelon is bad, but that the older body doesn't regulate fluids and minerals as effectively as it once did. As we age, our heart, kidneys, and endocrine system become more sensitive, and everything from food to medications needs to be carefully considered. Watermelon is over 90% water, and its natural sugars can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, almost like drinking a soda, a major concern for people managing diabetes. Additionally, the high potassium content, which is beneficial in many cases, can become dangerous if the kidneys cannot filter it out, causing potassium to accumulate in the blood, leading to arrhythmias or muscle weakness. One thing that many don't realize, many older adults are taking diuretics or blood pressure medications, drugs that alter electrolyte balance and make the body more vulnerable to excessive potassium or water intake from watermelon. In fact, over 40% of people over 65 have kidney function problems that they are unaware of, and so a seemingly healthy snack can slowly deteriorate their health. Of course, no one is saying you have to say goodbye to that cool slice of watermelon in the summer. But the key is to eat it in moderation, monitor your body's reactions, and consult your doctor if you have underlying health conditions. Instead of having a large bowl, try cutting a few small slices and using them as a light dessert after a meal. You could also replace it with fruits that have lower sugar and potassium content, such as blueberries, strawberries, or apples, which are easier to manage but still delicious. The story of watermelon isn't just about one fruit. It's a reminder that at this age, every nutritional choice can impact your overall health. And sometimes, to continue enjoying life fully, we need to learn how to listen to our bodies and adjust even the smallest habits, even if it's just a few slices of watermelon on a peaceful summer afternoon. Sixth, papaya. I once met Mr. George, a 76-year-old retired high school teacher living in Arizona, during a community health consultation. He was a cheerful man, a sports enthusiast, and always tried to maintain a healthy lifestyle. His wife often prepared breakfast with oatmeal and a bowl of fresh papaya to aid digestion and relieve constipation. At first, everything seemed fine, but after a few weeks, he began noticing some unusual changes in his body. His blood pressure medication stopped working. He bruised easily even from minor bumps, and his blood sugar levels fluctuated, making him feel fatigued and dizzy. Concerned, he went to see his doctor, and an unexpected truth was revealed. It was the papaya that was silently interfering with his treatment system. Papain, the enzyme in papaya, known for its digestive benefits, can interact dangerously with medications that older adults often use, such as blood thinners or diabetes medication. For Mr. George, papain had increased the effect of the blood thinner to dangerous levels, causing subcutaneous bleeding and bruising. At the same time, it destabilized his blood sugar control, leading to sudden dizzy spells that nearly caused him to fall while gardening, a hobby he loved most every morning. But that wasn't all. The elderly body is already more sensitive, and for some, papaya poses another risk that's often overlooked: latex allergy. I clearly remember Mrs. Mary, 68, a family friend who once had a severe allergic reaction after eating a few pieces of ripe papaya. She had never been allergic to food before, but that time her lips swelled, her throat itched, and she had to be hospitalized for a serious allergic reaction. Later, doctors diagnosed her with a cross allergy between latex and papaya, something that no one had ever thought of. It's scary how a fruit that seems harmless can cause such dangerous reactions. The human body changes with age. What was once suitable may now become a burden. Papaya, although once loved for its digestive benefits, is no longer an entirely safe choice for older adults. Its strong enzymes can disrupt the delicate balance in the body, especially when seniors are taking multiple medications. Instead of persisting with papaya just because I'm used to it, many older adults should consider alternatives. Perhaps unsweetened yogurt, warm ginger tea, or low-acid fruits like ripe bananas or steamed apples. Gentler on the stomach and more compatible with their medication system. Most importantly, listen to your body, follow expert advice, and don't hesitate to say goodbye to a familiar food if it's no longer good for you. Because, as Mr. George said with a relieved smile when he parted ways with papaya, at a certain age, what matters most is no longer the delicious food, but the feeling of safety after each meal. I remember visiting Mr. Henry, a 70-year-old man from the Oregon suburbs, famous for his lavender garden and gentle smile. He told me that when he was younger, whenever he ate too much or had indigestion, a piece of papaya would make everything feel better, as if nothing was wrong. But after he turned 65, everything changed. One morning, after having a slice of ripe papaya for breakfast, he felt a heavy stomach, a burning sensation along his chest. And a few hours later, he began feeling a dull pain in his upper abdomen. He thought it was caused by the other foods, but after several repetitions, he realized it was the papaya, his old digestive companion, that was now the source of his discomfort. For many older adults like Mr. Henry, papain, The enzyme in papaya that once helped digestion has now become too powerful for a digestive system that has become more sensitive with age. Instead of soothing the stomach, it can irritate the mucous membranes, leading to acid reflux, bloating, and persistent mild pain. Many older patients have told me that after 60, they started noticing that foods that once helped them feel light now made them complain about stomach aches. Natural changes in the structure and function of the digestive system mean that papaya, although it may be a cure for some, is no longer an ideal choice for older adults. But the good news is that there are still many gentle and safe foods that can support digestion without interfering with the medication system or causing adverse reactions. I often advise patients to try unsweetened yogurt, an excellent source of probiotics that helps balance gut bacteria naturally. Also, fermented vegetables like sauerkraut or kimchi, low sodium, are stomach-friendly options. And don't forget ginger tea, a simple yet effective drink that can soothe the stomach, reduce bloating and nausea, and feel as warm as a hug from a loved one. The key is not just good digestion, but safe digestion, without affecting medications and without adding extra strain on the aging body. Papaya is not the villain, but it's no longer suitable for everyone, especially as we enter a new chapter of life. Let every meal be a gentle and pleasant experience, not a gamble with your health. And if anything makes you uncertain, have a conversation with your doctor or nutritionist, because your health deserves to be cared for with knowledge and love. Last, bananas. One chilly morning in Florida, I sat drinking coffee and chatting with Mrs. Dorothy, a 72-year-old energetic woman who had always made bananas a part of her morning routine. She shared that bananas were an essential part of her breakfast. With their natural sweetness and smooth texture, she found bananas not only easy to eat, but also very nutritious. Every morning, she would peel a banana, eat it, and feel energized to start the day. "I've been eating bananas all my life and never thought they could be harmful," Mrs. Dorothy said. But she had no idea that this habit would have an unexpected impact on her health, especially as she entered her senior years. One day, Mrs. Dorothy began to feel some unusual symptoms. She felt more fatigued than usual, dizzy, and had uncontrollable heart palpitations. She thought it was just a mild cold, or maybe a result of the weather change. However, after going to the hospital for a checkup, the test results really worried her. The doctors discovered that her potassium levels in the blood had exceeded the safe threshold. What she had always thought of as a nutritious food, bananas, was now the cause of a potentially dangerous situation. Potassium is a necessary mineral for the body, helping to maintain muscle function and cardiovascular health. However, as we age, our kidneys no longer function as efficiently as before and can't eliminate excess potassium properly. This can lead to hyperkalemia, a serious issue that can cause arrhythmias, muscle weakness, and, in severe cases, even cardiac arrest. Miss Dorothy never thought that bananas, the food she considered nutritious, could pose such life-threatening risks. This is an important reminder for all of us, especially older adults, to be aware of the changes in our bodies as we age. Our organs no longer function the same way they did when we were younger, and the kidneys, which regulate potassium levels in the blood, begin to decline in function over time. This makes it harder for the body to eliminate excess potassium, creating a serious risk if we eat too many potassium-rich foods like bananas. Miss Dorothy's story is a prime example of how seemingly harmless eating habits can lead to unexpected consequences as we age. Not only potassium, but bananas also contain a relatively high amount of natural sugar, which may not cause issues for younger individuals. However, for older adults, especially those with diabetes or prediabetes, bananas can rapidly increase blood sugar levels. This can lead to fluctuations in energy levels, making seniors feel tired, drained, and mentally foggy, especially throughout the day. The blood sugar dips that occur after eating a banana can make older adults feel dizzy, disoriented, and unable to focus. Another story I can't forget is about Mr. Walter, a friend of Mrs. Dorothy. He was a big fan of bananas and had been eating 2 a day for many years. Like Mrs. Dorothy, he thought bananas were great for his health. But one day, he suddenly experienced irregular heartbeats and had to be hospitalized. The doctors found that his potassium levels in the blood were also abnormally high, leading to a condition that could cause dangerous complications. When the doctors advised him to cut back on his banana consumption, he realized that a fruit that seemed harmless could actually carry such a big risk. Mrs. Dorothy and Mr. Walter's stories serve as warnings for all of us, especially older adults. As we age, our bodies no longer function as they once did, and we need to think more carefully about the foods we choose. The kidneys, heart, and metabolic processes don't work as efficiently, and we need to respect these changes. The fact is, as we grow older, consuming too much of a single food, whether it's bananas or anything else, can carry potential risks, especially when we no longer have the ability to eliminate excess substances from our bodies as we did when we were young. Being cautious and aware of the changes in our bodies is essential, not only to protect our health, but also to ensure that every food choice we make is not a hidden risk. I want to emphasize that our health is priceless, and every change in our bodies as we age requires special attention. Maintaining a balanced eating routine, choosing safe foods, and consulting with a doctor when needed are the best ways to protect our health throughout life. Based on all the content we've discussed, the stories about foods like papaya and bananas and their effects on older adults, we can see that choosing the right foods for one's age and health condition is crucial. Foods that seem healthy can carry hidden risks, especially for older adults when the body no longer functions as it once did. Papaya, bananas, and many other foods can bring about unwanted side effects, from interactions with medications, causing allergies, to affecting digestive or cardiovascular health. The changes that occur in the body as we age are not always immediately noticeable. The kidneys no longer work as efficiently, absorption and metabolism change, making it harder for the body to process foods and medications like it did in youth. Therefore, listening to your body, adjusting your diet wisely, and choosing safer foods are important factors in maintaining long-term health. We also cannot overlook the importance of understanding how foods can affect medications or specific health conditions. A fruit like the banana, which is very popular and thought to be healthy, can cause serious consequences if eaten in excess, particularly for people with kidney or cardiovascular issues. Thus, the advice is always to consult a doctor or nutritionist before making changes to your diet, and never forget to monitor the signs your body is giving you. Health is our most valuable asset, and protecting it requires careful attention, especially as we age. Finally, if you found this information helpful and want to learn more about maintaining better health in later years, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We will continue to bring valuable insights and practical health tips to you and your family. Share this video so your loved ones can also benefit from useful information and take better care of their health. Thank you for joining us. Wishing you health and energy.